Hello and welcome to the Film Ireland podcast. I'm Associate Editor Gemma Cray.
And I'm Editor Stephen Galvin. And today we present a very special podcast supported by Screen Ireland.
We are delighted to welcome Editor Jérôme Eltabet. He is an accomplished film editor known for his work on award-winning series and films, including Revenge, which was selected for Sundance and winner of multiple awards, and now The Substance, which has been nominated for 5 Oscars, including Best Film.
And Jérôme is joined by award-winning filmmaker and editor Breege Rowley.
First of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for letting us have this opportunity to talk with you. I love talking with other editors and people in the field of storytelling. And I just have to say, when I sat and watched The Substance, I was absolutely blown away. I'll have to tell you, it's definitely, truly, it's ghastly, gnarly, it's grotesque, it's a horror movie, and it's a genre, but at the end of the day, it's a story.
Yeah.
And I just have to commend you in how you have told that story. It's definitely a movie that is getting huge recognition. And just to even speak to you on this on the film, I'm so delighted to have this opportunity.
Thank you.
How did you get involved in this movie?
So, first of all, I've been knowing Coralie Farjas, the director, for more than 20 years. So we met each other working on a series. She was director and also an actress. It was a kid series. And I noticed she was interested into post and editing part. So I kind of tried to taught her how to edit, and she enjoyed it. And that's how we start our professional relation. So later on, we have been working together on commercials and our first feature movie, Revenge. And that's how I went on board for the Substance. So when she gave me a call to talk to me about this amazing project, I was, oh my God, I couldn't believe this was true, like at the Universal Picture movie with amazing casting and everything. So, I mean, that's how the story started for me.
It's an amazing piece of work, and as well for Caroline, she has she wrote it. She directed it and she edited it as well with you. How was that? When did you come onto the project? Was it in pre-production, or have you been involved in some of the decision making before the camera even started rolling?
No, I was not really involved, but at the beginning it was not supposed to be film and to be editing in France. So it was more at the beginning kind of talking about the organization. Would I be able to go maybe to London for 1 year or more? Will I be able to go to, we didn't know yet where it will take place. So, and Coralie sent me the script, and suddenly everything went very fast. And I was surprised that she managed to bring the filming part and the post part in France. Everything has been done in France in Studio d'Épinay. It's an old mythic French studio in Paris neighborhood. And for the outside, it was shoot in Cannes or Nice in south of France, and we have been editing in Paris. So everything went fast. So just add the script and didn't have that much time to talk with Coralie, and so we knew each other. So I guess she trusted me, and but I had to do it on my own for maybe 3 months, and so that was not an easy things to do because there were so much footage, and I had been shooting for almost 6 months. So I was mainly on my own, try to build the first rough cuts, a first story with this all those amazing footage.
just even to go back, and I will come to where you've just ended there, but when you got the script, how many pages was that script?
So when I got the script was very long. Like it was, I think, 220
Oh,
pages,
wow.
maybe more than 200 sequences. So I told myself, oh, it's going to be very long. I was kind of a little bit surprised that they let her go to film with such a long script. But maybe the tricky part was like there is so few dialogue, so maybe it was hard to think about the length of the movie with only the script. So I don't really know, but me, for myself, I thought that it's going to be long because more than 200 sequences, like you know that more or less a sequence is 1 minute length. So and so but the script was so well written. I think now it's online, so everyone can have a look at it. But there is like some really huge character sometimes, small one. It's kind of a really living script. You can really feel the movie. She wrote about the music, the sound, the thing. So lots of indication in the script. And but I thought that the last part with monster and everything, I thought reading the script is going to be very touchy. I was not sure how it's going to work and how the audience is going to react to this crazy, crazy part. So I was kind of uh, exciting and kind of a little bit stressed about this huge project. Yeah.
I have to say, like, just even watching it firsthand and seeing all the symbolism and everything in it is like, I mean, and even just even doing a little bit of research on the film, like Caroline seems to have definitely a very strong vision in what she wants to say, but also like from the script to the screen, she's very involved. Like when you started this film, you said you were 3 months on your own. How does, like, that's without any influences from her? And also, there's very little dialogue on this film. How did you start your pacing, and how did you get, the scenes down with and find your pacing for each of the scenes?
That was not easy because first so many footage. So and I was supposed to deliver, I think 2 or 3 weeks after the end of the filming part, a first rough cut. That was a bit the plan. I've been talking with the production, and that's what they asked me to do. So I didn't have time to watch everything because to watch more or less everything, it can you can spend 2 months or 3 months only just to watch. So I didn't have the time to do this. So more or less, I was grabbing the last shot, the last
Take, yeah.
reading. Yeah, the last text, sorry. And when one was not good enough, because sometimes it was like 20, 30 times just Demi Moore watching outside. Or it was like Coralie had some things in her mind, and sometimes I don't understand, and even sometimes Demi Moore didn't understand. But we know that she has something. So I knew that I wouldn't be able to understand everything and to do anything perfect. And also, like they were shooting all the inset, all the close up at the end of the filming part. So like all the syringe and
Yeah.
close up, all those close up. So maybe they spend, I think, more than 1 month doing only this. So I guess they did this to win money because you don't need to have the actresses and everything. And I don't know, but they wanted really to have it was kind of a lab, to do some crazy little insert and close up. So me, I didn't have all this insert, so I have to sometime, I don't know, I did some jump cut, or I try to condense a little bit, try to I don't know. I tried to find music, and I tried lots of things. I had to do a bit fast, but and at this time I thought, oh, the movie is going to be very long. So I kind of gave a call to Crowley and said, oh, I think the movie is going to be very long. And she said, shh, don't tell anyone. We'll deal with it later on when I will be with you, but don't tell anyone. So I guess, yeah, she wanted to bring most material, lots of stuff to build the movie she had in her mind, and I think she was so busy. Sometimes she watched some stuff I sent her, but very few times. Yeah, only one sequence she was not sure about it because of the how Margaret Coley was playing in one sequence. She thought like she was not. Engage enough and everything. So this one, she asks me to edit quite quickly, and she watched it and she said, okay, I need to reshoot this one. But more or less, I was on my own. So like 2 or 3 weeks after the filming part, I was very nervous to show this to Coralie to the. But yeah, that's how I try to deal on my own, try to do my best.
It's lovely to speak to you and for you to be so honest about it, because sometimes, I feel the same myself. If you go into a film and if you have, first of all, I love being on my own for that first initial cut, but to actually bounce ideas off people or the director is so valuable because it widens your thought process in relation to how to cut the scene, to get that nuances that the director wants within it, but also keep true to the script, but also what you're showing your audience. So it's lovely to hear your opening delve into this film. And as you said, it is huge amount of footage, and it's a lot to carry when you don't have the director's ear at while you're cutting it as well. So it's interesting. But then when you did do the rough cut or the assembly, how long was the assembly, or can I ask that question?
Yeah, sure. The assembly was 3.5 hours, but without the insert and without all those things that. And when Carly went to watch it, so she said, at the end, she said, that's not, there is not, it's not what the movie will look like. But she was happy, like she thought in herself, oh, we are going to have a great movie. She was happy because usually most of the time when director come and sees the first assembly rough cut, they say, "Oh my God, they're so it's going to be, they're so sad." They say, "Oh, it's," and especially when they come from the end of the shooting, they're so tired and everything. But this time, so she thought, "Oh no, that's good. We're going to have a good movie, everything." But she thought we had
Yeah.
lots of work because yeah, it has to be so. Have you guys saw the movie? It has to be so stylish, and I don't
Yeah,
know,
fine
so
cut. Yeah,
so
yeah.
fine tune, fine edit. Yeah, and so I guess I didn't expect the movie will look like this because, but also I think we had to condense, to make it shorter, to because so first assembly, as I said,
Yeah.
was 3.5 hours, and so we have been working with Coralie about 6 months, but I didn't speak about this maybe earlier, but the way like Coralie edit as well, so we have each one our own edit room. So and when she came, that was a little bit difficult for me maybe because she went in her own editing room and she more or less spent 1 month only to do the birth of Sue when Sue came out of the back of Elizabeth, because and I understood later on like that was the first sequence she wrote, And if before she had the movie, before she had the story, before I don't know, she had this crazy sequence in mind, like someone came out of a back on of another one. And I don't know. So for her, that was it's not the first sequence of the movie, but it's the first one who bring you to a weird place, the audience to something, or you tell yourself, okay, it's going to be not a normal movie, more or less. And me, after you finish the assembly, hold on. We spend like 6 months to more or less recut each sequence, to find the music, to find the sound design, to find lots of stuff. And the movie was 6 months later, 4.5 hours.
Love it. I love it. So from that 4.5 hours, what was your next step? Because like that's everything on the timeline. That's everything that she wants and you
Yeah,
want on
true.
the timeline. But then
Yeah.
the hard, it's one thing putting it on the timeline and getting every bits and the nuances that you want. But for you, what was that process on and that collaboration with Cara? I keep seeing say Caroline, but you say Carolee. How do you pronounce her name again?
Okay, Coralie, Coralie,
Coralie, yeah.
uh,
I
Coralie,
apologize to everyone if I'm pronouncing it wrong,
Coralie.
and it's not any
No,
disrespect.
no,
But
Coralie, no worry.
to be
No,
honest
no,
with you,
don't
what
worry.
was that relationship with her that basically, because that's where the push and pull happens in getting the story down and getting tightening it to a point where it's all working and still keeping what you want within that 4.5 hours. What was that next process like?
At this point, so we were editing in Paris, and at this point, some people from Rocking Titles, a production company, came to watch this with the agency. So that was more or less the first time that people from outside came and watched the first, I'll say the first second assembly of the movie. But so like we were like, I don't know, 6 or 8 people in the room, and so it was so long, 4.5 hours. But like people were really amazed. Like they thought, the actresses are so good, the footage are beautiful, there is such a good atmosphere. So they were really. It was kind of a rough cut, but so from this point, I guess Coralie wanted to keep more or less everything. So from this point, I guess she thought that if people enjoyed to watch 4.5 hours, they will maybe it will be maybe possible that the movie will be like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, something like this, because it was supposed to be less than 2 hours. And another point is like Universal Studio. They used to say that they want to see a first rough cut 3 months after you started to edit with the director. And so Coralie managed never to show them anything. So I guess they were not happy that much. But so after this projection, she thought the movie could be longer. So the movie could be maybe 3 hours, something like this. So she thought that to be able to do this, we'll have to do the perfect sound editing, picture editing, sound design, music. So we will bring lots of sound, lots of music, lots of stuff. Try to make the perfect movie. And like after we had an issue in the post company, we had to move, so we lost a little bit of time. But I don't know. A few months later, maybe 6 months later or something like that. But we have not been working full time. But anyway, so we went to London. so to working title. And we had the movie, the length of the movie was 3.5 hours. So Coralie didn't tell them before they went in the theater to watch it. And so I guess, and at the end of the projection, I noticed that it was, if you watch it in a theater, and it was too long. And Tim Bevan, the producer, told us, oh, it's a bit weird in these movies. The audience is, you understand kind of what is going to happen a bit too early and everything. So, I mean, I guess the movie was too long. And so that's more or less, and they started to be not happy because we spent so much time, still have a movie 3.5 hours. And so that, I guess that was the first time Coralie more or less thought that the movie has to be shorter and thought maybe she won't be able to keep everything. So that's the start of the trouble because you try something, you get rid of some sequences, and after production company watches, oh, why did you didn't keep this one, or why this one was so good and everything. So that was another journey, and after the movie, I think was a bit 3 hours, when she went to LA to show them, to show Universal the movie. And at this point, we had lots of dubbed and everything. It was a bit, Universal was not happy at all because they didn't see anything for maybe more than 1 year, something they were like ready. Everyone were a bit against us, and so they said, and they started to say the movie is not looking that good. It's too much this, too much that, too much. I don't know. And when Universal saw the movie at a bit, I think it was about 3 hours, more or less. That's what Coralie told. Three men watched the movie and said, more or less, they didn't like it. More or less, they said they thought, it's not for us. I don't know what happened exactly. So suddenly, no one liked the movie anymore. So more or less, we knew that it was too long, and they told us that 3 hours won't be possible for this movie. So we have to shorter the movie. Another editor came at this point, Valentin Ferron, to help also, because after spending maybe more than 1 year, it's becoming hard to find the good balance, to choose the perfect decision. And so that was a good help. And more or less, they said, Universal Studio, okay, finish the movie and we'll decide when you're ready, when the movie is finished. So we put the movie at 2 hours and 20 minutes. And more or less, that's when Thierry Frémaux from Cannes Film Festival took the movie in official competition. And before that, I think Universal Studios tried to sell the movie to Studio Canal or to some other. Nobody wanted the movie. And when we were in the official selection of Cannes Film Festival, Mubi came before we got the prize, because before we had the award for best script, and they bought the movie. And after all this trouble and this crazy journey, the success came. And yeah, so that was really a long and crazy journey, I'll say. Yeah.
All right, so that's the movie in a nutshell, kind of as a journey. But for you as an editor, like, I mean, what was the challenging scenes within it? I suppose the thing I'd like to find out is, first of all, what was the scenes that stood out for you, and can we discuss them?
Yeah. So each lots of scenes were difficult to edit because we had to find the good music for each one because we didn't have a composer, or she was not happy of the first composer we had, so she changed. So we didn't have any composer. So more or less we were looking for music and find the good music for each sequence. We were mainly working by sequence. I don't know, but we were not that much watching the whole movie together. It was more each sequence. Each sequence has to be perfect, and each sequence is a challenge because and for Coralie, the main thing she wanted to do an immersive movie. She didn't even she got the award for best script for best, but that was not a main thing. The story, a main thing. She wanted that we feel what the character feels, something really to be in the head of each character, each actress, and so I'll say to me, one of my best sequence is when Elizabeth want to go out on her date and she put makeup on her. And so at this time you think, oh, maybe she can go on and find another way, even if she has trouble with her hand and her finger. But and so it's really, I guess, this sequence is really the story of the movie because it's how she watched herself in the mirror, and when she tried to go out, she sees the perfect body of Sue outside and everything. So, and at the end, she compared to the perfect Sue.
Yeah.
She compare herself, and at the end she can't go outside. So and at this, so it's like one of the seconds you supposed to be really moved. You're supposed to be, and it's kind of the later on you think that it's going to have a bad end for Elizabeth. You think everything is finished. It's going to be worse and worse and worse.
It was the changing point really within the movie as well, wasn't it?
I think so. I think so. It's one of the, and also it's you are really with the character. You are a little bit happy with her because at first she's in the bathroom. She give a call to her old friend, and she looks like a teenager. She looks really excited and everything, and so little by little you understand like it's too difficult for her to accept herself, to accept. So that was really, to me, it's one of my favorite one. But there were lots of sequences. Like there is some sequence like I did like 150 different version of the same one. Like because Coralie also, it's hard for her to explain exactly what she wants. She really needs to have the goosebump, and she said, "Okay, we have the sequence, we have the good thing." So, and sometime for some sequence, I couldn't find what she wanted, and so and she wanted such a perfect thing that so. And the end was very difficult, with Monstro in the theaters, all the blood everywhere and everything. So that was like they were shooting for more than 1 week with 4 or 5 camera, and like I think there was 100 hours of footage only for this end. Yeah, and it didn't really work. It was too long. It was not. She wanted something like rock and roll, something really strong, but we had lots of trouble to. We have to move some sequence in the theater to make it. We have to. So it was really hard to find the good things, and even the first sequence at the beginning, when you see. On the Walk of Fame and everything, because at first she wanted to have it will be like only one shot, and you just have dissolve and but the first thing was like as she want maybe 3 or 5 minutes, only for this thing, so it was way too long. But so lots of things like this. It was lots of experimentation, lots of research, lots of trying some sound, some music, some different pace. It was more kind of to work on each sequence. It was not that much to work on the whole movie. I don't really know why, but it was much to do the perfect sequence and to put it all together. And there is only, for example, there were some agencies that so we didn't keep these few stuff, but more or less we succeed and Corey succeed to keep everything and to make it more condensed, more shorter.
But impactful as well. Like, I mean, there's a lot of sequences in there that, like, I mean, like even you're on about the opening scene of Elizabeth Sparkle and the actual star on the footpath, and just even that sequence alone and the passage of time and the effect that you get with that, it's very powerful storytelling. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you're telling a story without dialogue and you're showing and you're not telling, and sometimes that's quite hard, and even to get the pacing and to get the nuances of that across, that story across. I always think, for me as an editor, it's not what you say, it's what you show. And again, you do it powerfully in this scene and or in that scene, but also over the whole movie. You're right. Like every scene for me, you know, had a trajectory, beginning, middle, and end, and it was telling a story within them scenes. And you know, I have to say, well done on that. In relation to working with the other editor, how was that working relationship? Who was responsible? Who had, like, I know Caroline had really last say on everything, but really at the end of the day, how do you share that workload?
Usually we share the sequence. So some of them I start, or maybe more. I started because I did the first assembly, but and after I give her one sequence, and she tries some lots of stuff, and okay, she has something, but it's not perfect yet. It's too long, or it's too something, and she give me back this sequence and say, try to. She tell me, try to do this, try to change. Okay, I'll try something. Okay, I didn't succeed neither. Perfect thing. I send it back to her. So more or less, that's how we work together.
I love it. I think it's, but also, I suppose having that shorthand with her, that 20 years of a rapport, did it help, or was your friendship, or would you say you're friends? Like, it's not just work colleagues. I would assume that over a 20-year period, it comes down to respect, and, you know, she respects you for your ability to do your job, but you respect her to have the vision because she's the director. How did that relationship evolve over the working of Substance?
It was not that easy relation because so much work. And I think maybe me, at the start, I didn't expect such it would be so long and it would be so much work. And I think she understood quickly that it's going to be lots of work.
Yeah.
And so it was not that much any trouble, but it was like we were spending like 10 hours in our own editing room and work. And at some occasion we share, she told me, no, that's not good. Sure, that was her decision and everything. And but at the same time, we used to work together, so that was the working flow, the organization was fine, but um, but it was and she thought we need another editor quickly. We didn't find, so it was like and because she tried at first to have something 3 months after the start of the editing with her to show Universal Studios. So she was really, and also like the production was in London, Universal was in LA. So we were on our own, more or less, in France, in Paris. So just her and me. And it was really focus, and really lots of work, tense, try, lots of research, lots of, and so it was like a, I don't know, it was like
It was
a,
work.
we
It
work.
was work. It was
Was
work.
not,
I have to tell you,
yeah.
like, I'm very conscious of the time as well, but I love our conversation, and I think we could be here for 3 hours. So I'm just going to ask you, because I do want to touch on this. The opening scene with, well, not the opening scene, but the scene with Harvey, Dennis McQuaid, and the shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I loved this scene. And just tell me, like, to be honest with you, I feel when I watched it, as soon as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, this reminds me of Requiem for a Dream. And it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Now, I have
Yeah.
to say the substance now, looking at it, I think Requiem for a Dream is a great editing movie. And I'll have to say the substance is going to be up there for future editors, but also future colleges in teaching on how to tell a story. But this scene, please tell me how you constructed this scene, because between sound design and the shots you used and the inserts, I just loved it. So please, for the audience, tell us how you created this scene.
So the goal first was we were not supposed to see Elizabeth at the beginning of the sequence. We were supposed to, so we were supposed to have like a kind of a disgusting producer talking to himself. I say he doesn't really care who he's talking to, and eating some shrimp, and so we were. It was not. Supposed to be gross, supposed to be someone who doesn't care at all, and so and after after we discover Demi Moore, we discover Elizabeth, and after we say, "Oh my God!" So yeah, so she shot some really close up without sound, so that was not easy because like it was like in slow motion and everything. So we have to put it. So more or less, the thing is to go inside this character. So we have to slow the sound when he eats. Sometimes go inside his mouth. It has to be really disgusting, and at the same time, it has to be a little bit funny. At the same time, it has to be, I don't know, you have to be really, you have to listen even to what he said. So there were lots of challenge to find the right pace. And also at first, the sequence was really too long, and sometimes it has to be something a little bit different than the one before, because the one before you understood, like she goes in the bathroom, yeah, and you can see him talking and say he wants a young one to replace her, so you already know. So this one has to be really strong because it doesn't give you a new information in a way. It doesn't give you, but it has to be like to reveal this disgusting character, and it has to be like what he sent her, and her, she's kind of still, and so it's like white shot to white shot. They are in front of each other. It's and with this really really close up on the shrimp. So there were not any plan really, or any. We had to try lots of combination, and the one which will work the best. But the idea was there, but we had to find the right pace and
The rhythm and the pace on it, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, for
that's it.
symbolism and what the actual scene
Yeah.
relates is very, very strong. Like, I always feel there's a shot in it where the shrimp is limp. And, you know, for me, that's like she's that shrimp, and it's her
Yeah,
is
yeah,
his archetype is that's what's tearing them apart. And like you look at this film, it's about body, flesh, and bones. You know what I mean? And him,
yeah,
that opening
true.
scene of him just snarling at these shrimp, and but even the sound design on it, I think is very
Yeah.
powerful. And I think congratulations for all the work on that scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in the actual movie. Now, look at there's loads. I mean, I could go on and we could discuss so many of the scenes, but look at just. I want to. I'm very conscious of who we're doing this talk for, and it's for up and coming filmmakers and editors. And how did you get into the
Mm.
industry?
First, I did a cinema school in Paris, school for 3 years. And at first, I started as a assistant director. I've been working for 3 years as an assistant director. And I did not know yet that I wanted to become an editor. And I really enjoyed to be assistant director because it was I met lots of people, traveled, and it was and watching the director how he was working, do the casting with him, do lots of things like this. I thought maybe I would become a director. I thought, or maybe I don't know, and but I was learning lots of things to be with, and the director always told me, the post and the editing part is really important to build the movie, to build the thing. And I said, oh yeah, I guess, but I didn't really experience this. And after one friend, but this director was Alain Franchet. He did some really great commercials, and he had the Oscar, I think. But he was a bit old, so didn't have any more work. And one of my friend was an assistant editor and became editor. And he told me, "Oh, don't you want to come and take my job as assistant editor?" So I did not have work at this time. So I said, "Okay, I'll go. I'll try this." And at first, I was not that happy because to be on my own, to be this kind of technical work,
Yeah,
and little by little, I understood that it's kind of one of really important place for a movie, and because you can really build it and find
the
the
story.
the rhythm, yeah, the story, everything. So yeah, it took me a little while, but after I really enjoyed this part of work for a movie. Yeah.
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 In relation to where you are now, in relation to your editing career, this film has got
Mm,
a Golden Globe, and it has got so many
mm,
awards. Is it 74 awards already it has received, and it's in for the Oscars now? Where
mm.
do you see your
Yeah.
career going? Uh, and with
Uh,
technology changes and all that, just bring
mm,
that into play. Where you see
yeah.
your place in the next
Mm,
10, 15
yeah.
years.
To be honest, I didn't expect expect that crazy change in my career or in the future. So, and as I said, the journey was really difficult, tough, long, and everything. To and now I try my best so I went to London for the BFE, the British Film Editor. We had a nomination. So I met lots of great editors. Nick Emerson, who won for Conclave. Jack Roberts was there for Civil War. Civil War, it's really great. So all those amazing editors. So suddenly you you met like amazing editor. You met lots of and the light is kind of on you, and you're not used to have this. And so next week I go to LA for we have a nomination for the AC Eddie Award. So it's like I need to find an agent, and I'm going to look to try to find an agency, and so I think the industry changed. Now you don't really have to be in LA to work for feature movie. You could be in London or even work remotely. Uh, so I have a feature film I'm going to start to edit, I think in May or June. That's a French movie, another genre movie.
Yeah.
So I try to make the most of the success of the substance. Try to find some nice project, meet some new nice people, and try to build a career that I didn't expect before, I'll say.
Yeah.
Try to make the most of it and try to have a fun project, an exciting project, and meet nice people. And
See
so
what happens.
I don't know how. Yeah, we'll see what will happen. I don't know yet.
If you had any advice for up and coming editors, you know,
Yeah.
even in relation to your own journey, going from assistant editor to assistant director to assistant editor and then on to editor. Have you any advice? Like everything is changing now in relation to technology and, you know, the experience of storytelling. You know, have you any advice for them?
I'll say first, as you said, that for like everything has changed with technical. So it's so easy now with your mobile to shoot. And me, I like to do everywhere I go, I like to do reel, short reel for Instagram or stuff like this, just for fun. I don't know. So I would say like try to edit every day a little bit. It's like a sport, if you train yourself, you become quicker and you so. I'll say also, it's not only editing, but when you are on some kind of big project, you have to do some political work as well, because sometimes the producer don't have the same view of the director, and you're a bit between them, and so you have to be sometimes a shrink also, try to understand what the director has in her mind, on his mind. So there is lots of different aspects. And also sometimes you don't success to edit a sequence, or I don't know, you're not happy or what you did. Or I think you don't have to be shy to ask someone else, another editor, or I don't know, a director, or anyone to watch what you did and say, oh, I don't know, what do you think about it? And sometimes they give you idea and you say, oh, okay, I didn't. So because sometimes you're so focused as an editor on some really small part of the movie or small sequence, and sometimes you forget the global things. So I don't know if that can help, but that's what I would say.
I have two questions just came up to in my head there when you were talking about that. What did you edit this on, actually? What was the package what was the software you edited on for the substance?
Alors, for the substance, it's we edited on Premiere Pro, because Adobe Premiere Pro, because that's not that usual for feature film, but that because when I first taught Coralie to edit, we were on Final Cut Pro 7.
Yes, I loved Final Cut Pro 7.
So, yeah, we loved it, and because it was good and intuitive, and we edited our first feature movie, Revenge, on Final Cut Pro 7. So after, it was a bit too complicated for her to go to Avid Media Composer, and Adobe Premiere Pro was kind of more similar to Final Cut Pro 7. And also, as we work, we like to have something very intuitive. You mute a shot, you mute a sound, you try another thing. So, and because in Media Composer, I love Media Composer, but sometimes you have to think first, or take the red cross, move a shot, move something. I'll say with Adobe Premiere Pro, maybe you don't have to think, you just can do it straight away. Well, after it can become a mess, but that's another story.
Yeah, no, I have to say my trajectory on Edit Suites, like, don't get me wrong, I've worked on Avid but my own home suite or my studio suite was always Final Cut Pro, and then I went on and I'm on Premiere now. But I still work on Avid. Like the film I did, Woken, was on Avid, but I find the usability on Premiere Pro easier. But as you said, technically at a later stage it can cause some problems.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the same. And for your own system now, are you still on Premiere or are you on another system?
Depends. Depends of the
Yeah.
project. I have Premiere Pro on my laptop, for example, when I do reel or I have to do something quick, and I put everything in the software and I do something fast and quick. But I know that assistant editor doesn't like Adobe Premiere Pro. I mean, they prefer Avid Media Composer because they can do something really more well organized, and it's kind of work a little bit better when you have to go to sound mixing and to grading and all of those things. So depending on of the project
Yeah.
and depending.
And who you're working with. In relation
Yeah.
to your the substance, working with the sound design, like how was
Yeah.
that? Like, for example, the shrimp scene. Did you actually create them sounds yourself, or had you that vision and that soundscape in your head when you were editing, or
Yeah.
was this something that was heightened once you started working with the sound designer?
No, we had to create more or less everything, but just to give an idea of the duration of the lens, to give the idea of the sequence, and after the sound team more or less changed to have good quality sound, to have good stuff, to have. They also we at first we put too much sound,
Yeah.
more, and after it's too much, so they. But we had to build this and to slow down some sound to find some. So we did this work like we were used to do this work with Coralie. So, and I think we didn't have really because at one point we were supposed to have a really great sound designer like Nicola Baker, but like the editing was much longer than it was supposed to be. So after it was not available, but we had some great team for the sound, and but more or less we had something and after they changed everything, but the ideas was there, the lens was there, the thing was in place, but they just had to do it more professionally and in more quality for theater.
Jérôme, I would love to stay on for another hour, but I'm very conscious of your own time here as well. And I just wanted to say thanks so much for taking the time to have this conversation with me. And thanks so much. And I wish you every success in whatever you do coming up.
Thank you. Thank you. But I had a really nice moment to chat with
Yeah.
another editor. So that's always
Oh.
nice to have a chat with editor. And that's what I noticed also when I went to, we have this in France, we have LMA, Les Monteurs Associés, but it's not as big as in England with British film editors.
Yeah.
And it's really nice when you meet some other editors and share your story and so, but anyway,
no,
it's
hugely important, I think, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like even with technology change and do you think the experienced editors going forward, are they going to be, with the new technologies and trying to keep abreast of new technologies? Do you think that's going to be hard for us as we go forward?
Uh, um, I don't know, but the thing is, we don't have any more. I mean, assistant editor are not there anymore. They are there at the beginning and at the end, more or less, but more or less they are not really there all the time. So sometimes it's might not be easy for them to learn, because you don't share the work and sometimes. So that's one point. And after with EA, I don't know. I hope that we still need some human being to behind the computer, but
Yeah, no,
I
definitely.
hope.
Well, look at, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Breege.
This discussion has been made possible with the support of Screen Ireland. Visit filmireland.ie today and sign up for our newsletter.